Don't hit the chandelier.
Right. The 4H Fife Drum Corps would like to thank the Lincoln Minutemen and Don Anthony for allowing us to come here, and this is a very important event for us. We'd also like to thank the 4H parents for all the hard work cooking and driving and helping people practice. You know what to do. And of course we thank First Michigan for coming. How many hours do you travel?
16 hours.
16 hours. Well, you're really welcome here. Give them a huzzah. Everybody, huzzah! And thank you, honored guests. And thank you, everyone. Everyone is important to this event, and I thank you so much. I'd like to invite our Fife Sergeant, Mary Grace Quinlan, to come now and continue with our ceremony. A tradition is a ritual, belief, or object passed down within a society, still maintained in the present with origins in the past. The word tradition comes from the Latin traditio, meaning to transmit, to hand over, to give for safekeeping. The world of fife and drum is about tradition. The corps participating in today's muster maintain in the present music which dates back centuries. And as individual members of these groups come and go, their rituals, beliefs, and objects are passed on to future members. In 2002, First Michigan presented 4H with a Sweetness of Mary drum and a copy of the Sweetness of Mary sheet music. That was also the year that a 4H tradition began, whereby each Fife Sergeant was asked to be the caretaker of the Sweetness of Mary sheet music, and each Drum Sergeant was asked to be the caretaker of the Sweetness of Mary drum. Today, we continue this tradition by announcing our new Drum Sergeant, the next caretaker of the Sweetness of Mary drum. We are also expanding on this tradition by asking our good friends from First Michigan to present the Sweetness of Mary drum to the new Drum Sergeant. Please join the directors, teachers, and members of Middlesex County 4H Fife and Drum in congratulating Don Anthony in his appointment as Drum Sergeant. Vice Corporal Joe Green, please present Don with a red cockade signifying his new rank as sergeant.
Thank you.
Vice Corporal Jessica Scanlon, please pass the Sweetness of Mary drum to Mark Logsdon as we ask Mark to talk to us about the significance of this tradition and present Don with the Sweetness of Mary drum.
When we first started coming out here, my late wife was particularly interested in how well the youngsters were playing, as we all were, because 4H, Fife Drum Corps, very similar to a young Fife Drum Corps out of Indiana, play well beyond their chronological years. And musically, you might be listening to an adult corps because of the dedication and the practice that is involved. It takes a lot to impress, well, me personally, but it's very impressive to hear the richness, the fullness of the sound that the 4H played. That impressed us early on. My wife was a dedicated first grade teacher. So upon her passing, my son Brian and my daughter Lauren and I had decided that we would present something of a special nature to those corps that were special to us. So we created what we call a spiritual set of drums. And the 4H is the recipient of one of these spiritual drums. It's a spiritual set. In other words, it's a drum that symbolizes a philosophy, and that's a dedication to doing something well. So this drum is one of a set. First Michigan has a Sweetness of Mary drum. The Middlesex County Volunteers carry a Sweetness of Mary drum. And the Williamsburg Colonial Junior Corps carries a Sweetness of Mary drum. And I believe in all the corps now, it is a tradition that when that set of drums is being played, that the drum sergeant is the caretaker of the Sweetness of Mary drum. This is true in our corps, and this is true in the Williamsburg Corps. I believe it is also done with the Middlesex County Volunteers. Why did these particular corps get one of these drums? Because they were and are close to us in philosophy, close to us in dedication to performance, and it's just darn good to see young people play beyond their years. And that is why we decided to have this drum made to match a set of drums you guys have just ordered. We did all of this in secrecy. The drums were built without the knowledge of the corps that were receiving them, and it was wonderful for us to present these corps with these drums as a great surprise. And we're honored, by the way, believe me, we're honored that you take it as seriously as we take it. It's an honor for us to know that this drum is being cared for by the ranking drum sergeant. So believe me, it's a treat for us. I don't think there's ever been anything else done like it. I can't think of another spiritual set of drums in this hobby that we share, that we love. So it takes command of it. Thank you. You are welcome. Two of the set will be performing today. Spiritual set of drums will be performing today.
And I believe, Mark, a few years ago, all four were
Yes.
here.
Yeah, all four of the snare drums were here, and were played on here on this field. Yeah. It's a rare opportunity to get all of them together, but at least two of them are here. Actually, part of the set too is unknown to me. I made a trip out to Vermont to talk to Coopermans, and I said, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to build me a set of drums. And they looked at me, the family looked at me weirdly, and they said, follow me. And we walked into the front room, they had already built one. Their idea was to build us a special drum, and we possess that drum as well. That's part of the spiritual set of snare drums. We have a bass drum, a snare drum, and the other corps all got snare drums, matching their own livery. So it's kind of it really is a special thing. We can't tell you how much it means for us to be standing here and to be performing with you today. It's worth the trip. If this were the only thing we were doing, it would be worth the trip. So thank you very much.
Here, here.
So I guess it's time to eat.
I would only have one more reminder. I try to tell this to the boys in some form or fashion at least once a year, and it's really important. Every time we put on our uniform, and I hope when you put on yours, keep in mind that you represent those who can't speak for themselves. There are veterans of the armed forces who fought to create this country, and there are today everybody else who has worn a uniform has fought to preserve it. So we enjoy this music, we love this music, but there were those centuries ago who had to play this music and play these instruments. Respect their memory. Do the best job you can every time you put that uniform on, every time you swing a drum, or you put a fife to your mouth. You do your best. That's all I'm saying.
Here, here. Woohoo!
I would ask if First Michigan can do that.